Uncontrolled Chaos here. In this video, I want to talk about the 5 reasons No Man's Sky is worth playing in 2022. Let's get into it. First is character customization. Now, my main fan base right now is City Heroes. I'm hoping to grow a No Man's Sky fan base. I hope this gets things rolling. But character customization is really nice in this game. It's not as advanced as City Heroes, but it still has a lot to it. You can customize the look of your character, different helmets, different shoulder pads, different chest pieces, different gloves, different boots, different jetpacks, things like that. On top of that, you can choose the different colors and the patterns on those different pieces. That's really, really great and nice. Then there's the customization of your ships. You have 3 different types of ships in the game. You have your fighters, you have your explorers, and you have your haulers. And they all look different, and there's a bunch of different ones that look different within those categories. And that's really nice because you can go around and find the type of fighter you want to use. You can find the type of hauler you want to use or explorer you want to use. Same with weapons. You can find the weapon you want to use. If you want a pistol or something that looks like a submachine gun or a full-on rifle, you can do that. Now, beyond that, the other customization you have is you can customize the stats on your ships, your weapons, and your characters. These are called upgrades. In City Heroes, that's an equivalent to enhancements. It enhances things like scanning ranges on your weapons. You can enhance the damage you do, the different types of weapons systems on your weapon. You know, you can have shotguns or just a regular laser rifle or a rapid fire machine gun laser, things like that, grenade launchers. Same with your ships. You can have different weapons and shields on that and enhancements on that. With your character, it's enhancements of things like health, shields, life support, jetpack jump height, and how long it lasts, which is really, really fun. I want to move on to the next subject, which is fit the game to how you want to play. There's a lot you can do in this game. You have combat, space combat, you have ground combat of fighting sentinels or fighting wildlife that's aggressive. You can explore different galaxies, different universes, different planets for wildlife and buildings and things like that in the game. Ancient ruins, settlements, abandoned buildings, populated buildings, trade posts. In space, you'll run into weird alien space things. You'll run into black holes. You'll run into destroyed freighters. You'll run into abandoned space stations or solar systems, which is really fun. Then there's also the gathering and mining. The mining in space is limited. You get a couple good resources that are always there. So if you want to find things like gold, silver, titanium, stuff like that, space is the place to go where it's sort of guaranteed. On the planets, you have a bunch of different things like copper, uranium, cobalt. You have oxygen you can get. You have carbon you can get. Different types of rocks and stuff like that. That's just really nice, along with different metals and really fun. On top of that, you can trade. And in this game, it's really nice because you can trade with space stations, you can trade with NPCs in there, you can trade with players in there. They have trading posts on planets, you can trade in space stations, at terminals, a bunch of choices there. And they have a system in there where the price of goods are different in each solar system. So you could literally buy a bunch of one resource from one solar system, haul that to another solar system, trade it there, and make a profit. And that's really cool and adds to the game. Now I want to talk about base building. My City Heroes fans will like this also because there's base building in there for super groups. Or if you're on Thunder Spy, it's an individual base called an apartment. It's the same system. But in No Man's Sky, it takes that and enhances it greatly. You can have landing pads, rooms, hallways, decorate the inside the way you want, like you can in City Heroes. It's really, really cool and can really customize and build your own cities or big buildings, unique looking buildings and stuff like that. But on top of that, they also have settlements that they put in the game where you run as a mayor. And that's really, really cool because then you're telling it what buildings to build, whether this is a production settlement or a party settlement, things like that that really add to it. On top of the base building, you have base building that you can do underwater. You have fleet carriers where your main fleet carrier, you can build a base in there that runs as your base that you can call to your different systems and just sort of have it follow you around to wherever you're at. The next thing I want to talk about is the type of game this is. This isn't just one type of game. This is multiple types of games. It's a survival game. It's a space game. It's semi-online with being able to call in the Nexus, go in there, and you'll see a bunch of players running around online. You can turn on PvP, turn off PvP, turn on multiplayer, turn off multiplayer. You can be in the game in first person or third person in the game. Me personally, I like first person in the spaceships, but third person when I'm on ground running around. That's just me. I want to know how you like to have your sayings for that. But on top of that, there's also things that they're doing now that are really great. This is a game that's constantly being updated and has expeditions, and this is a 6-year-old game. Now, these updates aren't being done by the fan base, but it's actually being done by the developers, Hello Games, and they're doing small updates, big updates. In fact, a month ago, they just did an overhaul on combat. They added more weapon types for both your character and things like that. They added in more sentinel types. They made sentinel fighting a lot more harder and funner. You now have repair bots and summoning bots and things like that. That's just really, really great with the big updates. On top of that, they have expeditions that go on for 5 weeks. And these expeditions are preset areas. You have to start a new game and go through and do these specific objectives, and you get rewarded for them, and it carries over to your other saved games, which is really, really nice. And the fact that the developers have been doing this for 6 years since the game released and are not charging a thing is amazing. So this game is heavily worth picking up for any game player out there because you get to play the way you want to. The only thing that might inhibit you is if you're a fantasy only game player, you might not like this game that much. But other than that, if you like all other types of games, this game has it for you and it's really, really nice. Let me know what your favorite thing is to do in No Man's Sky down below in the comments, or if you're interested in trying out No Man's Sky, also check my 2 end cards if my talking about City Heroes interests you. I'll have one up there that will talk about beginner's guide for City Heroes and if City Heroes is worth playing in 2022. Y'all have a good day.